بسم الله الحمد لله الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق يظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده ربي إقرارا به توحيدا وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين عما بعد يا معشر المسلمين. As we want to come back and remind ourselves with the tremendous reminder of the foolishness of the disbelievers, the foolishness of the idolaters, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us of the ignorance of the idolaters, and taking other gods instead of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of all things, the one who controls the affairs of all things. Whatever He wills happens, and whatever He wills does not happen. In spite of that, ya ayyuhal ikhwa, they still worship others besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we want to bring about some benefit with regards to the affair of the idolaters and their hal and their situation. The idols who the idols who cannot even create the wing of a gnat, but were themselves created. They can neither do harm nor bring benefit to themselves. So how could they do anything for their worshippers? How could they do anything for their worshippers? Naam ya ayyuhan nas. So this affair that we must be upon is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not to follow in the footsteps in the ways of the kuffar, the ways of the disbelievers. So these individuals who worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the reality of those who invoke other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from amongst those who are invoked, is he who has been expelled from the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla, such as the shaitan, ya ayyuhal ikhwa. The one being invoked does not possess the power to benefit himself, nor or not to mention others. He does not have the power to benefit himself. So how much so others, ya ayyuhan nas. But individuals, they call on the shaitan, and they follow the shaitan, and they worship him, wa'iyadhu billah. This is the first affair, the reality of those who invoke others besides Allah Azza wa Jalla. And number two, the one invoked along Allah Azza wa Jalla does not possess the independent. He doesn't have the ability to benefit or harm others. Rather, they don't even have the ability to benefit or harm themselves. They are from the general body of the weak and incapable creation. And those being invoked are deceased and incapable. And you find individuals going to the grave and invoking the dead people that is in the grave when they don't have the ability, they don't have the capability. Those being invoked are deceased and incapable. They cannot create a fly, not to mention bring about any benefits or repel any harm from themselves or others. Naam ya ayyuhan nas. And then those who are being invoked cannot hear those who are calling upon them. Even if they did, they would not be able to respond. So how foolish is these individuals who call on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that person that they're calling on cannot benefit themselves nor harm them. And that dead person that they're calling in the grave cannot hear them. And even if they were to hear those individuals, they would not be able to respond. And then those being invoked do not own or possess anything or on the earth, nor in the heavens, and on the day of judgment they will disavow and refute those who called upon them. Naam ya ayyuhal ikhwa. So this affair, tahreem, dua li ghayrillah, the impermissibility of invoking other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we just mentioned, this affair is that those who are invoked as he who has been expelled from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then those who are being invoked alongside Allah Azza wa Jalla does not possess the ability to benefit or harm. Rather, they do not even have the ability to benefit or harm themselves. And they are from the general body of the weak and incapable. And then those who are being invoked are those deceased, and they are incapable as well. And they cannot create a fly, not to mention bring about any benefit or repel any harm from themselves or others. As I am running it back down to you guys. And then those who are being invoked cannot hear those who call upon them. And even if they did, they would not be able to respond to them. And then those who are being invoked do not own or possess anything on the earth, nor in the heavens, and on the day of judgment. That thing that they have worshipped, that which they have called upon, would disavow them and refute those who called upon them. It will refute those who called upon them. So, from this affair, the description of those who supplicate to other than Allah Azza wa Jalla, then Allah is detailed, then it is mentioned, He brings about some detail with that which we are going to mention, is that he is one who the devil has gained mastery over and leading him astray. Those individuals who call on someone other than Allah Azza wa Jalla, it is that the shaitan has gained mastery over that person and leading him astray. وَمَاذَا, and he does not obtain any benefit or help, neither aversion of any harm nor anything. He does not obtain any benefit or any help. You will not be able to benefit yourself or gain any benefit or any help, but rather you will only be farther and further away. Naam ya ayyuhan nas. And from this affair of tahrim, du'a li ghayrillah, from this affair is that with his invocation to other than Allah Azza wa Jalla, he is an oppressive, disbelieving polytheist. You give that right that Allah has over you to someone else. You give the right that Allah has over you to the creation, to an object, to a thing, to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And from this affair, his invocation to other than Allah is misguidance and falsehood. And this is from the affair of stupidity. He is from those who are destroyed and punished. قال الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم إن يدعون من دونه إلا إنشاء وإن يدعون إلا شيطان مريد لعنه الله وقال لا أتخذن من عندك ناصبين مفروضة. Allah Azza wa Jalla, he mentions, they are those who worship other than Allah Azza wa Jalla, invoke nothing but female deities besides him, and they invoke nothing but the shaitan, a persistent rebel. Allah curse him and the shaitan, he said, I will take an appointed portion of your slaves. So